For years, whispers of friction between Jay-Z and 50 Cent have lingered in the background of hip-hop. And now, 50 is reopening that chapter by revisiting old accounts and long-standing industry talk surrounding their rivalry. He's re-examining past conflicts, calling attention to influence, control, and the unseen power structures that shape the music business, while stressing just how wide Jay-Z's presence stretches behind the scenes. From his perspective, many insiders chose silence and distance when tensions were at their peak. And he's now pointing back to the key moments and figures he believes felt the impact, reviving a legendary face-off that continues to fuel debate and define hip-hop history.
I remember one time walking in the studio, Bleak Beans, everybody was in there, and I was like, man, I'm telling you, man, y'all got a chance right now, just flood it, put out a lot of music, because 50 Cent is coming. And, you know, 4 months later, in the club hit, and it was over. And it was just like, okay, now everybody got to sit on the sidelines and wait this tide wave out.
There's a huge difference in energy internationally in 50 Cent and Jay-Z. In fact, his largest selling record sold 430-something thousand copies. My largest selling records sold 5 million. You let them be fooled in America and think there's a competition there. Because America can be purchased. You can buy it with marketing dollars. You see what I'm saying? But the rest of the world, there's not enough marketing dollars to go around.
That's why I made a statement about Taylor Swift.
I wish you would come take one of my awards so I could black his eye in front of everybody.
And Jay disagrees.
I want everyone to be clear. No one's scared of 50 Cent.
Does that bother you? Does it bother you?
No, it doesn't bother me. It's just his choice.
Why would you have to make that clear when no one's ever asked me if I'm afraid of Jay-Z?
The public is responding to his punk presentation. It's not 50 Cent. I don't have a problem with him. Kanye would not take a trophy from me. Neither Jay-Z.
Right.
Neither one of them.
What would you have?
For years, industry chatter has hinted at quiet tension surrounding 50 Cent's addition to the Super Bowl lineup, with claims that the decision wasn't universally welcomed until Eminem stepped in and strongly backed his inclusion. Whether the situation was overstated or simply misread, the narrative has kept debates alive about the behind-the-scenes dynamics among these major figures, reinforcing the view held by many fans that Eminem has consistently stood in 50's corner and played a steady, influential role throughout his career.
You couldn't sell more records than Jay-Z. But all you had to do was listen to Benny Siegel, and Benny Siegel was, oh my God. Oh my God.
Yeah, he said that. That was the first of me actually hearing it. Like, oh shit. Like, I used to have questions like, why every time my album dropped, Jay would drop right on top of me. He wouldn't let me breathe or right before me. Like, I was always close, and we always thought like, damn, if a kid, back then it was physical copies. So if you had $20, $20 that you saved up and you was going to buy an album, and it's under the same house, Rockefeller, between Jay and BC, 9 times out of 10, you won't buy the Jay-Z album. I never understood that every single album that I dropped, Jay dropped right on top. And it was like, damn, like that in-house competition at that magnitude was crazy. Jay already the boss, but I always thought that, like, let me breathe. But to maliciously plot to hold me back, I don't know, man. I don't believe that. I don't want to believe that. I mean, but like I said, dang, when
Despite reaching the highest levels of success, 50 Cent is frequently respected for lifting up those around him, with artists like Tony Yao describing him as a true rap icon who stays grounded and approachable for people rising in the culture. Many fans draw a contrast between that image and the perception of Jay-Z as someone who carries a more reserved, larger-than-L life presence, highlighting a clear difference in how these two legends are viewed within the hip-hop community.
Me, Jay-Z, right? I said to my nephew, I said, yo, listen, I have to ask him this straight up. So I said, yo, why? Who is the people that's on NFL? And he said to me, and I'm sorry for anybody who don't understand. And he said, the white guy called for 50 Cent. So I said, who's the white guy? I'm digging this Jimmy Iovine. And he said, no, Eminem called directly for 50. And he said,
that's his guy.
He said, I can't do it if I can't bring 50 up.
But that's his guy.
That's beautiful.
And guess who's Dre's guy?
Your guy.
Jay-Z has long been seen as a sharp, business-focused architect of his own rise, with critics arguing that many of his moves reflect a calculated effort to expand, influence, and control within the industry. Supporters counter that his achievements are simply the result of discipline, vision, and talent. Yet over time, some voices, including 50 Cent, have questioned the carefully managed public image surrounding his partnership with Beyoncé, describing it as a strategic alliance rather than just a personal bond. While fans widely celebrate them as one of music's most powerful duos, Jay-Z's growing presence at major events like the Grammys has only intensified discussion about how deliberately he curates his legacy and how determined he appears to project an untouchable status at the top of the game.
But you know what I like about 50? 50's on a whole nother level, but he's still approachable. You still get to meet the people and Jay got to remember the people that made him. You know, I'm not saying I don't got respect. I respect Jay-Z, 50, used to respect, Diddy, but all that crazy shit going on. But, I always respected him because I looked at, for New York, those were like the guys. You know what I'm saying? The guys with the most money and the most influence. So with Jay is like, when the last time you haven't seen Jay. So I think people are just going to say that. You know what I'm saying? But for me, I mean, Jay, you got to remember, he didn't want 50 at the Super Bowl. That was crazy. I'm like,
wait, Jay didn't want 50 at the Super
you didn't
Bowl?
Know that? Yeah, he didn't want.
I remember Eminem pushed for it.
That was some hated. Yeah,
I remember Eminem was like, I'm not going to do it unless 50 does it. I heard that.
Yeah,
but I didn't know that Jay was trying to stop it.
I don't think Jay. I don't know. 50 never told me that, but I don't think Jay wanted them there. I don't know
because of what some of the.
I mean, it's competition. You got to think. 50 always been competition for Jay. Remember, I'm about $1. What the 50 Cent?
That was a long time ago.
That was what 9. What was that? 9.
But after that, they did a song together. Remember the whole
50 was
thing?
Was always competition for. Then remember Jay said, yo, 50's coming. He told Siegel and them, and Memphis Bleak and all them.
Yeah.
And come on, 50's like, he's on a whole nother level. You got to remember, he came after Jay and Rockefeller. G-Unit came, and people might G-Unit, but with Eminem, Dr. Dre, 50 Cent, nobody has outsold us, bro.
Yeah.
Nobody has had the effect that we had.
And it's different than when it was 2016. The game has been elevated. As we can tell, there's no expense being spared. We had a Black Billionaires Lunch. Yeah. You understand?
Right.
And we here together, and we're going to keep staying together. We getting tighter. You know what I'm saying? And united we stand. And ain't nothing else to us. Black excellence. Right?
New lawsuit coming with Jay. The part with Jay. I go, oh shoot, like
to us. Black excellence. Right?
That had to be there.
We getting tighter. You know what I'm saying? And united we stand. And ain't nothing else.
Black excellence, they're sitting there like, yeah. It's a billionaire brunch.
Oh,
like,
I hate you, man.
unaware of anything going on here. This is the one time I'm going to be with you this year. Come on, bro.
For years, speculation surrounding Jay-Z and Beyoncé's relationship has sparked nonstop debate, with critics suggesting their partnership was carefully designed to strengthen their positions at the top of the industry, while fans firmly defend it as authentic and unbreakable. Alongside that, unverified rumors about Jay-Z's personal life have circulated widely through tabloids and, online conversations, gaining attention despite never being proven. Similar discussions have followed the early rise of artists like Rihanna, prompting broader conversations about how newcomers are introduced to the industry and how power dynamics can influence their early journeys. While these narratives continue to resurface in fan circles, they remain part of the larger mix of rumor, perception, and controversy that often surrounds the biggest names in entertainment.
When he signed that contract, the marriage contract, he got trophies. No, those trophies. Trophies came rolling in, buddy. He started getting Grammys left and right, man. I mean, look, if you look at his career,
You're gonna let him say that? Jay was getting Grammys.
He had one.
Exactly.
He had one.
And he ain't show up.
He had like 20 now.
Oh, Lord.
He had like 18 since he been down. Look, he had one, bro. Hard Knock Life.
You're not wrong.
He was one. At the same time, he got them since he's like drinking. His pictures with him like thinks the cup.
Wait a minute. So you're saying the success is derived from the marriage?
I've absolutely been treated differently.
The accolades. Because he's no longer viewed as what, like a street or gangster rapper. Now he's viewed as a businessman, entrepreneur, family man.
And the biggest ones because of the position Beyonce's.
Jay-Z's career, you can look at that and say the association to Beyonce is when he started to receive the 16, 17 Grammys since he's been with Beyonce. Right? And you go, prior to that, one.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So that came in association, like you see that the kids even have Grammys. Like they don't sing yet. They don't sing. Right. They don't rap yet. And they already have Grammys and shit. So it's like they give them this trophy so we secure that they're coming to the award show. It meant that much to the culture that they just gave them.
Why are you so on top of the business side of Jay-Z? You know what I'm saying? Some people like to just be an artist.
Yeah, I was actually forced to be an artist and a businessman because when I tried to get a deal, I couldn't get a deal, so I had to create Rockefeller Records. We actually created Rockefeller Records from nothing. And, so I was forced to know both sides.
Jay-Z once found himself at the center of intense media attention following a high-profile incident involving music executive Lance Rivera at a New York nightclub. A moment that quickly became a major headline across the industry. The situation ultimately concluded with Jay-Z accepting responsibility for a lesser charge tied to the dispute, closing a chapter that has since been repeatedly revisited when discussing the early and more turbulent stages of his career, and remains one of the most talked about moments from his rise to prominence.
Rihanna.
Mm-hmm.
She's from Barbados?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, she's Bayesian. How did you come in contact with her? I mean, did you fly over there?
No, Jay Brown had actually bought me the song. She has a song right now, and it's I wouldn't say massive because of her roots, but she has this outrageous song called Pony Replay.
Mm-hmm.
And he played that song for me, and I was scared. I was like, that song is too big for her.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, a new artist, when a song is that big, it's it's hard to come back from.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't sign songs, I sign artists.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Won't you break down the difference between that? Because the viewing public might not understand that.
Some people chase the hot song for a minute, and then they sign, based on the song. I want to sign it based on an artist, based on or based on the swag, or based on the level of talent, based on the writing, so I was a little reluctant when I first heard the song, and then, he kept going, Jay Brown, he kept being persistent. I was like, you know what, bring her by. And when she walked into our office, I was like, she just had, it was just something about her. It was just, she had this, it was just something about it. And then she performed the song, and I was like, okay. Okay. Then, we sat down and we talked, and they were talking about how she would stay in the studio and try to get the verse over, and then come back the next day. I was like, oh, work ethic, everything is there. So we signed it that night. We didn't let her leave the office.
Really?
The 3 a.m. was when that contract got signed. So from the meeting around 3, 4 in the afternoon, we signed it by 3 a.m. Wow. That day, I was absolutely certain.
But Jaguar has been warning us about Jay-Z. Jay-Z has now had an official lawsuit. It's everywhere. It's now being talked about louder than ever. I guess, does that give you some peace to know that people are finally really questioning this man?
It's emboldening me I spoke on Pierce Morgan. I said that I had 3 victims that I've been working with, victims of the Carters, that were ready to come forward. This might help them feel a little more confident now. So this is great because he's been evading. But the thing is, everyone in the backdrop knew that he was the celebrity John Doe. Everybody knew that. They knew it when I did Pierce Morgan.
Is Beyonce celebrity B?
I hope to God not. But she was around. And she's very... she's got enough on her plate. After everything that happened with the election and everything that's happening right now, I'm not going to dump on that woman. She got better fish to fry. What I will say is that her husband, she knows exactly who he is.
Yeah.
She knows.
To Def Jam. She was an innocent baby when she came over here. And look at her now. 14 going on 15 years old. Flown over without parental supervision in a private plane by a man who was supposed to be a producer who auditioned her at 3 a.m. in the morning in a hotel room. Auditioning at 3 a.m. in the morning, a 14-year-old girl. She was flown to another country. She was taken to Def Jam headquarters. She was left in a conference room alone with Sean Carter for nearly 6 hours alone with no parental supervision. Her father collected a $500,000 check. She has the fastest inked deal in debt.
Over time, Jay-Z has openly admitted to personal missteps in his marriage with Beyonce. Comments that quickly sparked public discussion and renewed curiosity about what may have been unfolding away from the spotlight. That curiosity reached a peak after widely circulated footage from a 2014 Met Gala afterparty showed a tense exchange involving Solange and Jay-Z while Beyonce stood composed nearby. A moment that instantly captured global attention. The incident fueled endless conversation about their private dynamics and the pressures surrounding their high-profile lives, becoming one of the most analyzed moments tied to the family and reinforcing how closely every move they make is examined by the public.
Jay-Z turned himself in tonight, and the cops started working on his rap sheet, accusing him of a stabbing at a trendy party.
Kimberly Richardson is at Midtown South right now. Kimberly.
Well, Rosanna, just a few hours ago, police here at Midtown South arrested Sean Carter, better known as Jay-Z. The rap star voluntarily turned himself in here at the precinct earlier this evening. Now, Carter is being held here in connection with that stabbing fight that erupted at the Kit Kat Club last night. But just a few moments ago, Carter's attorney had this to say.
He's not involved in this, period.
He was at the club?
That's my only comment. He wasn't involved in this.
So it was someone else that did the stabbing and the hitting?
I didn't say that. I said he was not involved in it.
Now, Slovis goes on to say that at no time was Jay-Z hiding from the police, that they were in touch with cops all day and that they're trying to resolve this as gentlemen. But as Mike Sheehan shows us, others say they've seen the dark side of Jay-Z.
I have my faults, you know.
For years, both industry voices and fans have dissected the layered dynamic between Jay-Z and Beyonce, pointing to how closely their personal lives are intertwined with their professional empires and constantly played out in the public eye. Ongoing talk about connections with other major artists has only intensified the spotlight, while Beyonce's calm, controlled presence amid speculation has added an extra layer of intrigue. Together, these elements have fueled debate over whether their union is powered more by strategic vision, personal commitment, or a careful balance of both keeping global attention locked on one of the most influential partnerships in modern music.
Difficult to say, I'm going to talk about the problems in our marriage. I'm going to talk about how we almost lost things. And for her to say, I'm going to talk about my pain and anger at you. What were those conversations like?
Again, it didn't happen in that way. It happened, we were using our art almost like a therapy session, and we started making music together. And then the music she was making at that time was further along. So her album came out as opposed to the joint album that we were working on. We still have a lot of that music. And this is what it became. There was never a point where it was like, I'm making this album. I was there.
Right.
I was right there the entire time.
And what was her reaction to your work, and what was your reaction to hers? They must have caused, I think, they were pain both for each of you, right?
Of course. And it both very, very uncomfortable, but sitting in that, the best place in a hurricane is like in the middle of it.
Yeah.
We were sitting in the eye of that hurricane. Maybe not use hurricane because so many people are being affected right now, but the best place is right in the middle of the pain.
Right.
And that's where we were sitting, and it was uncomfortable. And we had a lot of conversations, and really proud of the music she made, and she was really proud of the art I released. And at the end of the day, we really have a healthy respect for one another's craft. I think she's amazing. Right. Most people walk away and like divorce rate is like 50% or something, because most people can't see themselves. The hardest thing is seeing pain on someone's face that you caused and then have to deal with yourself.
Yeah.
So most people don't want to do that.
Yeah.
You don't want to look inside yourself. And so you walk away. It's my soulmate. It's the person I love, and you can be in love with someone. You can love someone and if you haven't experienced love and you don't understand it and you don't have the tools to move forward, then you're going to have complications, period. And if you can either address it or you can pretend until it blows up at some point. And, for us, we chose to fight for our love, for our family, to give our kids a different outcome. You see, to break that cycle. For Black men and women, to see a different outcome. Like you were saying, it's not this celebrity couple. We were never a celebrity couple. We were a couple who just happened to.
Speculation surrounding Jay-Z's private life has continued to surface across media and fan discussions, with talk involving other well-known figures repeatedly drawing attention and debate. Many observers see these narratives as a reflection of how fame and influence amplify every action, turning rumor into headline and perception into ongoing commentary. Together, these conversations highlight the constant scrutiny faced by artists at the highest level, where power, status, and visibility blur the line between a carefully managed public image and a life lived under relentless observation within the music industry.
A new twist in a high-profile lawsuit accuses rapper Jay-Z of raping a 13-year-old girl in 2000 alongside Sean Diddy Combs. The lawsuit, originally filed in October, was refiled today to include Jay-Z as a defendant. The anonymous accuser claims the assault occurred at an MTV Video Music Awards after-party. Jay-Z has denied the allegations in a statement on Roc Nation's Instagram, calling the accusations heinous and urging a criminal complaint be filed instead of a civil one. He also criticized the attorney behind the lawsuit, Tony Busby, accusing him of exploiting.
A recent court filing has captured major attention after naming Jay-Z in a lawsuit first submitted in October, connected to allegations tied to an incident at an MTV Video Music Awards after-party, dating back to 2000. Jay-Z has firmly denied the claims, calling them untrue and stating that any legitimate review should take place through proper legal channels rather than civil action. He has also publicly challenged the motives behind the filing, accusing the legal representation involved of using the situation for self-interest. The development has once again sparked wider conversation about how high-profile figures are scrutinized when serious claims surface, and how the entertainment industry handles allegations that quickly become matters of public debate.
Worried that if you throw little and you don't throw out allegations, but like you kind of poke fun at them,
You just ask questions.
You're not worried that it comes back your way. Like people dig up your past and try to pull stuff up.
I don't got that in my past. I'm not.
Everybody got a little bit.
Look,
Like,
I took a pill, but it was for me to perform better, for her to remember, buddy.
I didn't give her a drink so she forget what the happened. What the is going on here, bro?
Yes, I took the drug. I gave me the fucking drug to perform. So she could remember and possibly love me for that.
Did it work?
What the f? This is, yo, bro, look, I'm doing pretty good. Doing pretty good. You know what I mean? Like, but I'm just saying, this is the opposite of normal shit that we're talking about, bro.
That is why. Well, I don't know why it's so hard for people.
So
just
for people to feel like you would have something, or you would have reserved energy because you feel like you was doing it too. This is people that are looking on separation between their hardships or their the things that they got going on that would be issues, and what a celebrity's issues would be.
Wait, what is that?
They think all celebrities are doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Right, and when you see, if I wasn't saying anything, guess what? You could safely say that a person on the outskirts that is not involved in hip hop culture could think that everybody in hip hop.
While much of the music industry continues to move cautiously and avoid controversy, 50 Cent has remained unapologetically outspoken. Recently, using a podcast appearance to challenge what he described as a long-standing culture of silence and guarded power at the top of the business, he suggested that many influential figures choose restraint not out of truth, but out of self-preservation, protecting status and reputation over transparency. His blunt remarks once again drew attention to his rivalry with Jay-Z, while also shining a light on the deeper layers of influence, control, and unspoken tension that have quietly shaped hip-hop narratives for years and continue to fuel debate behind the scenes.
Jay-Z and them was putting it together. So I think they still harbor some energy towards me.
You think you were purposely left out of the ad?
No.
Oh, okay.
I don't think. I think that they were saying the NFL had some issues with me that I don't know what those issues are. Like, what is the issue? You see what I'm saying? Like, and I with M, because like with Nori he had communication. He said, yeah, I talked to the big homie. He was saying, told Jay, he was telling me, you know, the white boy wouldn't do the truth without fit, right? And I'm like, that's when I start saying crazy stuff, because I look and I go, oh, that's your big homie, right? And so he imaged himself after a gay painter. The big homie want to look like a gay painter.
What are we talking about here?
We're talking about Basquiat. He wants to look like a gay painter.
Oh my God, I think I know where we're going with
So
this.
now look, what I'm saying to you is, look, when you start looking at, that's not mine, that's theirs, they Harper, right? But when you look at, M is looking at the entire legacy.
Yeah.
The whole thing.
50 Cent brought his trademark edge to Big Boy TV, openly targeting Jay-Z with sharp wit and unapologetic commentary, using humor to poke at recent style choices while making it clear he refuses to censor himself. Unlike many in the industry who tread carefully, 50 leaned fully into his reputation for saying what others won't, showing zero concern for optics or backlash. For him, honesty comes first. If a thought crosses his mind, he puts it out there without hesitation, reinforcing his role as one of the few voices willing to challenge power openly and without restraint.
If you haven't seen it, which I hadn't seen it until this morning when I saw this headline, Kim found it for me. Let's watch this clip quickly.
Crazy
Let's
that you
watch
haven't
Tyra
seen
pushing to get this out of Rihanna, and when it does, man, it made me feel very, very uncomfortable.
Audition. Yes, but before I met him, I was so nervous. I was shaking literally. But the moment I walked into the office, the atmosphere was so warm and welcoming.
You had to sing a cappella for him?
Yes, I had to sing. I sang Fun to Replay. I sang another ballad from the album last time.
So then what did he say to you? He said something to you.
Oh yes, he said, we don't sing songs here, we sing artists. And there was this little pause, and I was nervous. But then he said, I'm very interested. And there was this sudden feel of relief.
But then he said something about a window and a door or something.
Oh, then he said, he did it homework.
I did a lot of homework on you, this lady.
He said, there are two ways to leave here, either through the door with the deal signed or through this window, and we're on the 29th floor.
So you was like, where's the pen? Where's the paper? I'm signing.
Yeah.
The audience is so uncomfortable. Like, I don't know if Tyra was trying to get that on the record, but my God, what Jaguar he threatened her. This is her own words coming out of her mouth. And she was a kid at that time, correct?
15-year-old girl who had been flown to the United States without parental supervision or a chaperone, brought to a grown man's office in a large corporate Manhattan building. Everybody knew when she flew in. I was there the day she got signed.
And
beautiful.
When I met her that day, I knew she was a star. Like, just her look, the way she walked into a room and her confidence, and she performed in my office.
And she was what, 17 years old at that
She
point?
was 16.
16, and she has the confidence of it. She's
Yeah.
like an old soul in a sense, right?
Absolutely.
So she walks in your office, and what? She just belts out a tune.
Belts out of tune. She performs, and I tell her, "There's no way out of this office." I signed.
Jaguar Wright has consistently spoken out about her experiences in the music industry, including her time crossing paths with Jay-Z, portraying him as a highly strategic and powerful force in business. She suggests that his level of influence places him in a position few are comfortable confronting, reinforcing the idea that status and control play a major role behind the scenes. Her perspective adds another layer to the broader discussion about power structures, calculated decision-making, and hierarchy in hip-hop, shedding light on how industry dynamics can shape careers, silence voices, and influence reputations over time.
And a teenager, 13-year-old. Right. And we were speaking about just the statement.
Right.
The statement, you were saying you felt like that was calculated.
That was, that the statement is something from, you can tell it was written by a lawyer. Because there's a point where it kind of gets aggressive. He says, like, you're going to find out, like how I'll handle this. Like, and that's an attorney want to be combative with another attorney. That's not like your publicist wouldn't say those things.
This is on your
Put that up.
yeah, this is on
50?
yeah, it says I don't know what's going on, but are we still going to have the Super Bowl? I'm just asking for a friend.
Yeah, I'm asking for Kendrick. You know, I'm just trying to figure out if we're still doing everything the way. Because look, they will fall back, but they like the NFL, they won't necessarily be associated to that.
Right. Why do you not insert yourself, but you're on top of every topic, right?
Yeah. I'm just watching. I'm participating. I'm being part of culture. I'm just telling my opinion.
Right.
Look,
Because you're part of the culture.
Like I can't say anything now. I'm out of it. I'm like I'm going to Dre's studio and just sit with Dre.
Right.
And then, maybe I step.
50 Cent has repeatedly pointed to the close association between Jay-Z and Diddy, framing them as two dominant figures moving within the same elite circle, but with very different styles of influence. In his view, Jay-Z operates with precision and patience, applying pressure quietly behind the scenes, while Diddy's actions tend to play out more openly. This contrast, he says, reveals how power is exercised in different ways at the highest levels of the industry. Aligned with his own unapologetic approach, 50 makes it clear he isn't impressed by status, fame, or connections, choosing to speak freely while others remain cautious. As much of the industry stays silent, he continues pulling back the curtain, challenging the polished mogul image and raising questions about what he believes is happening beyond the spotlight.